A very warm welcome this morning to the one to be baptized and to the two to be confirmed at this Mass. And we all rejoice with you as you are fully initiated into the Church with baptism and confirmation and First Communion. And it's our joy and our privilege to be with you and to pray hard with you and for you on this particular occasion. One of the things that is so marvelous about celebrating Mass with you is the number of tinies that are always here. And sometimes they let us know that they're here in no uncertain terms, and that's just fine. But as often, it's wonderful to see them looking at the smoke from the incense. It's great to look at them when they hear the bells. It's great for me to see the wonder in their eyes as they look at my hat. They usually look at that. If they look at the rest of me and I'm in purple vestments, they think I'm Barney. But if they just keep looking at the mitre, they really think that it's a wondrous thing. And it is, and it's something of which I'm not worthy. But my point is that those tinies, uncorrupted by the world as they are, instinctively get turned on by beauty. You can see the wonder in their eyes. And that is our human nature. That's our ecology as human persons. Just as animals and rainforests need all sorts of things to be sustained, and we're responsible for them. Far more are we responsible to provide everything that sustains human life and human nature. And one of the things that our nature most needs to be true to itself is beauty, experiences of the beautiful. Our country and our culture are not terribly interested in providing experiences of the beautiful. Why is that? Because every individual has as beautiful whatever he or she thinks is beautiful. So you can't really provide something that's beautiful and say, there, that's nourishing to your human nature. We can't say, here is something which is beautiful for everybody, and we place it at your disposal for your nourishment. Because beauty doesn't start outside the person to be presented. Beauty begins within the person, just like morality. What's right and wrong is what I think is right and wrong. What's beautiful is what I think is beautiful. And everything is beautiful in its own way. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and on and on and on and on and on. Well, those little tinies don't think for a minute that they make my hat beautiful. It is beautiful. And they wonder at it, and they don't in any way take the responsibility for it. Because you see what happens. Once we get into the mode that everything is beautiful in its own way, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, real beauty disappears. It has to. Because there is no real beauty. There is only the beauty that's in the eye of the beholder. And when real beauty disappears, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then beauty very quickly becomes nothing more than the satisfaction of instinct. And that's what St. James is talking about in great detail and with great depth in the second reading. You desire things, but you can't have them. And so you kill or you steal. You set up a war between your mind and your body so that what your mind believes you should do, you don't do. You satisfy your instincts instead. You ask and you do not receive because you ask wrongly. The one whose life, wherein beauty is reduced to the satisfaction of instinct, that one becomes overloaded with envy and ambition, which St. James says very clearly, that's a desire that can never be satisfied. That envy and that ambition can never be satisfied. No matter what one gets, it's not enough. There's no satisfaction, there's no joy, because only real beauty can fulfill the human person. Real beauty, which is also goodness and truth. Satisfaction of instincts is not beauty, and it cannot satisfy the human person. Proof was in the news this morning. There are more Americans today dying from suicide than from automobile crashes. That's where the envy and the ambition and beauty as satisfied instincts get us, because those instincts can never be satisfied. Beauty takes us outside of ourselves. Beauty confronts us. Beauty confronts us. And when we see beauty, we know that it is also limited beauty. We want to see something that's even more beautiful. And we want to see complete beauty in itself. Complete beauty in itself is another name for God. Real beauty that confronts us from the outside raises our mind to complete and infinite beauty, which is the name of God. That's what real beauty is, the beauty that sustains the ecology of human nature. And so I ask our young people at confirmation, is Lady Gaga's music beautiful? And they say yes. And I say, what do you mean by that? They say it's cool. What do they mean by that? It satisfies the lower passions, because that's what it's all about. So much of music today is about sex and drugs and violence. It's about the satisfaction of the lower passions. And they're taught to call that beautiful. To go against that natural drive toward beauty with which these tinies that are here are born. They're born with that natural instinct for beauty that lifts them up higher. Our society, especially through the abuse of technology, takes that beauty away and substitutes for it the satisfaction of instincts, envy, ambition, always wanting what I'm not going to have, never being satisfied, never being happy. Evangelization during this year of faith through beauty is one major response. To call sisters and brothers back to the recognition of true beauty as something outside them, as not in the eye of the beholder, as something that confronts them and raises them up to mystery and raises them up to God. The ecology of human nature cannot survive without beauty, goodness, and truth. And those who worry so much about the spotted owl or a certain kind of a fly don't seem to worry too much at all about what is necessary for the ecology of human nature. And that's what's sad, because anyone interested in ecology should be a great friend with followers of Jesus Christ. We believe in taking care of the ecology of nature. But the only way that the ecology of nature will be properly taken care of is if the ecology of human nature is cared for first. Otherwise, we're reduced to our lower instincts seeking satisfaction. St. James says that so beautifully today. So let us all take the time. It's what prayer time is in part. Take the time to be aware of the beautiful, not to miss it and not to take it for granted. Because that leads to tolerance of the disappearance of beauty, which is where our culture and our society lead us. The flourishing of our human nature with its ecology depends on the availability of real beauty. And during this year of faith, let us focus on the real beauty that we have to offer. The beauty who is God Himself, the beauty of our faith in Jesus Christ, the beauty of the liturgy, which should never be anything less than beautiful. Should never be anything less than beautiful. And the beauty of your faith and the faith of everyone else in the communion of the church